Hi there, in this video, we're going to look into Filecoin, and we'll cover where the bulls and bears are battling around, whether there are any bull traps or bear traps, and whether there are any whales footprint. These are education content only, not financial advice. So let's start with the daily chart of Filecoin. We'll come back to this bigger picture in just a minute. So in the daily chart, what we can see, we haven't revisited Filecoin for a while. So it's time to extend these lines and see what levels it has traveled through throughout this period. So we left it in about a month or two ago where we stopped at February-March period. So after that, it has gone through the subsequent testing phase, and now seemingly it has climbed to a higher level with pretty good volume just a few days back. But then, subsequently these few days, people are getting more conservative because a lot of economic data is going to be released starting from this week, and then the new Fed chair is going to be in his position very shortly. So that's why any kind of front running is now, the players are becoming more cautious. But nevertheless, let's take a look at what's going on here. So previously we have this sideways trading trend tracking box, right? So the boundaries or the levels that the bulls and bears are battling around was between 1.18 to 1.67 up till the beginning of February. So the last day of January, the price dropped and established a lower sideways trading. So we tracked the downtrend. It exited in February. So why I'm mentioning this? Because the price is now trying to climb back to the previous sideways trend. Okay, so here, this was the boundaries. Okay, if I draw a channel box over here, another sideways channel, okay, you see, I'm just trying to maximize in case you're watching on a mobile phone, that's easier. So this top over here on the left, and then the bottom, these two, the first set up, the second time it confirmed or challenged by the bulls, and then the second time coming back down. So these 4 points provided these boundaries that governed the trading since beginning of Feb. Now we are in early May, and after 3 months, the bulls and bears have decided they are trying to change the playing field. And that's why I'm bringing back this sideways trending box back. Okay, if the bulls manage to climb above 1.18 and stay above, which they haven't been able to in the past 2 days, then the playground, okay, remember this air hockey table, right? They're going to move the table from the lower level to the upper level. Okay, imagine you move the table from your ground floor or basement to your living room upstairs. Okay, so how do we measure this then? Okay, after March, we talked about the confirmation that comes in, whether it's going to break above. Finally, the confirmation came. So let's do the same thing. All right, if this uptrend, we don't know yet, right? Assuming this is the point, today is the point where it is going to find support. Let's assume that is the case. Right over here, the May 13th, just in a day or two's time, depending on whether you're in Asia or Europe or the Americas, that's the 13th. Okay, there we go, 13th of May. So what's going to happen? Okay, what I call 2 C's. Okay, 1 C is continuation. That means breaking the resistance, 1.18, and turn it into support. Continue the trend along the yellow dash line. Okay, that's support over there. The other is change. That means changing from this uptrend back down to the lower levels, retesting first the ceiling of the previous sideways trend. If it drops below, it's going to retest to 1.03. So either one of the C's either continuation or change. All right, so we will know that in a day or two because this is gapping over here, this triangle. And what about the big picture then? Now we know where the bulls and bears are battling around and whether there are any traps over here, okay? Because if it is going to fake bear, that's going to break for a day and then immediately shoot up back to the box above, okay? Just one of the examples. Now, the big picture. Here, we see the price has gone through the testing period. Okay, if you're new to Wyckoff method, the orange text are the accumulation cycle, while the blue text are the distribution cycles. Okay, there are a lot of stages. Don't worry about them for the moment. Over the course of weeks, after you hear me talking about different cryptos, you will learn them, very quickly. So no need to remember them or memorize them in one session. So here, the testing period is where the whale is going to check out the paper hands, and that's what's been happening until there are no paper hands left. And we never know, okay? It's only been able to be tested by the environment, the news, the sentiments, how the world changes, how liquidity changes. Okay, of course, there's a part to play by individual projects, whether they're the founding team or whoever holding a large bunch of coins are going to release it to the market all of a sudden or regularly over time. That's going to affect these kind of things as well, especially when we are in the bear market. So this is, we asked the question whether that's a spring. A spring is something that is a very deep test, way deeper than the previous lows, right before the price climb to the next distribution cycle. Okay, that question still exists because a testing period or an accumulation cycle can last for years, 2 or even 3 years, depending on the economic environment. Okay, so this time, from the very beginning to where we are now, it's 455 days, not even 2 years, okay? Not even a year and a half. During 2002, 2003, if you look at some of the altcoins, or even Ripple, you see a prolonged period of 2 to 2.5 years of price suppression during the accumulation cycle. So this is not something very long compared to that period, okay? So what we want to see is the activity that we saw last week, okay? Meaning higher than average volume and sustained price climb as well. Both has to sustain to where, at least for the case here for Filecoin, 2.75 to 3.15, because that's where the automatic rally stayed at. Best goes about 3.15, try to reach 3.47, the green key level. That we can call the other sign of strength. We had this November last year. We want to see another one because that's when we know that the next distribution cycle may be near. All right. So you can find my work, weekly write-ups on Substack at SLS. Go check it out. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.